What up, YouTube? Sean here. We speak, you listen. Instant reaction to AEW Revolution. I decided last minute, 2 minutes before it started, what the heck? Cancel WWE Network this week, so let's go get AEW Revolution, watch it live, enjoy some real wrestling, some good storylines, and see what happens tonight on the show. And was not disappointing. It was a above average show, not perfect, but definitely their best to me. First pay-per-view I've seen, but really from just, watching YouTube clips and reading the results, to me, their best show they've ever done. I saved the two big matches for last, but even the smaller matches like Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, very entertaining, very athletic, young guys. Not much of a backstory. They have more than half of the match before it even starts, just beating the heck out of each other through tables, unbelievable moves. It was just fun to watch, and, well done by both guys. Both guys are small. Both guys would be great in NXT or 205 Live, but they're fine in AEW. They're never going to be world champion, probably, either of them, but both have strong gimmicks, strong characters, good on the mic, good presence, athletic. I like them both. Good match. Solid there. The night started with Dustin Rhodes against Jake Hager. But I was excited for this because getting Jake Hager, who now is more of a, presence than he was as Jack Swagger in WWE, getting Jake Hager, the MMA guy, in an AEW match, I was interested, and it was fun. It was fine. Both guys got offense in. I've always liked Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, back from his WWE days, but I think this match went a little long, but it was fine. It was well done, and I would say that it was a solid start to the show. The third match of the night stole the night to me, and that was Kenny Omega, Adam Page, the tag team champions, against the Young Bucks. And I don't watch NJPW. I listen to the podcasts. I have read up on them, seen YouTube clips. Don't know the whole history of the Bullet Club and all that stuff, but you watch Kenny Omega matches back in Japan or any match he's ever had, and he's one of the best in the world. Just everything he does, his presence, his mindset, his athleticism, just everything he does, it reminds you of AJ Styles, John Cena, that Daniel Bryan, those types of people. Seth to a lesser extent, but those types of people that no matter who they're in there with, no matter what the storyline is, no matter what the match is, you're intrigued. You're intrigued. Like Seth the other day, I love the Street Profits, but their in-ring stuff is behind the stage stuff. But Seth and Montez Ford made it work because Montez Ford is athletic. Kenny's the same way. You get Kenny in there with somebody that is athletic, like the Iron Man match with Pac was phenomenal. And this type of thing, this is really the first time that they have gone against each other. Kenny against the Young Bucks, and it was great. Out of the ring, in the ring, everybody hitting their big spots. The tag matches in AEW are kind of all over the place and sporadic, and this was too, but to a lesser extent. It was more organized. The ref did a fine job in this one of keeping it more traditional, by the rules of what a tag team match should be. I thoroughly enjoy that. It was the best match of the night. Kenny Omega is a mega star. Adam Page, in the beginning, I was like, why is he fighting for the first time for the championship? They saw something that he can be a superstar. In the beginning, when they gave him that opportunity, I said, who is this guy? Jericho's going to kill him. But ever since then, he's gotten better and better and better. Now he's been a tag team champion. He'll continue to develop. And maybe someday, I think him and Moxley would be a great match. Not that that's going to be the next title match. I don't know what they're going to do now, but down the road, that would be phenomenal. Him versus Kenny would be great. So there's opportunities there. And now, the women's match, I don't get into Nyla Rose. It's nothing against her. The women's division in general is just down. You know, I think Awesome Kong has potential, and she's older. She should be in this title kind of area at this point. Statlander's lost every match she's been in, a big match, and you know, I don't really know a lot of these women that are in this division, but nothing, the fact that she's transgender doesn't bother me at all. I just don't like Nyla Rose. Reminds me of Nia Jax, but just not as good, you know, and I've never been a big Nia Jax person, so the match was fine, and you know, I half watched it, but you know, just wasn't into it like most of the women's matches. And in AEW, they just don't have the talent, the mic skills of the top women in the world. But the two big matches of the night, MJF and Cody. First up, Cody coming with everybody. People, I don't even know who he came with, half of it, you know. It could have just been, you know, Brandy and Arn would have been fine. He came with everybody else, Dustin and other people and security and everybody having American stuff, and he has the American tattoo, and but it was a good match, you know. It was interesting, it was fun. Both got their stuff in. Cody got his shoe taken off, got his toe bit. The over-the-top rope where they both stayed together and both fell. There was big moments in the match. Kind of a weak ending with the ring. You know, they wanted MJF to win, but they didn't want Cody to look bad. And that's fine. You know, that's fine. I don't know what else they could have done that would have been better. Maybe Wardlow without the ref seeing, just knocking Cody out. The ring thing, kind of like brass knucks. I didn't love that part, but it was a solid match. I enjoyed the match. They'll fight again probably, and we'll see what happens there. And then the main event, I love Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, to me, since I was very young, has been my favorite wrestler. You know, I like The Rock, I like Cena, I like, you know, a lot of different people, but somebody would say, who's your favorite wrestler, you know, ever since you've been watching, you know, wrestling live, or, you know, the Raw and SmackDown and WCW and whatever. Chris Jericho was always the guy, and even what he did last time he was in WWE with KO was phenomenal, with the list and stuff, but he's been great. I really like the group of you know, him and Guevara and Santana and Ortiz and Hager. The match was cool tonight, you know, going into the crowd and the blood and the over-the-top stuff, and then, you know, I just thought, no doubt, Moxley's going to win tonight. It's time to switch the title. It's time to let Moxley be the champion. Fine with it. I would have preferred it to just be one-on-one and not let the Inner Circle get involved. You know, not that that's a big point, but I would have rather just be the two of them and just go and just, but it just made Moxley, in their minds, look bigger, stronger, that he could beat the entire Inner Circle, and that's fine. You know, Jericho did his job. Will he ever be champion again? Maybe. He'll get championship matches, probably. Will he win them? You know, we'll see when we get to those times, but, you know, Mox will be a great champion. You know, Mox / Dean Ambrose was always underused, underutilized in WWE, and I think AEW is using him better already than he was being used there. Even when he was singles in WWE, it was not well done. So we'll see where him as a champion goes and what happens from here. Overall, good night. You know, glad I watched it. Blew Super Showdown out of the water. Blew what was last month's WWE pay-per-view? The Rumble. Rumble was fine, but I enjoyed this better. I honestly, the Rumble's the Rumble, but the other matches that night were kind of like hit or miss. This, to me, was pretty much everyone was good. And I'm not going to watch Elimination Chamber. You know, WWE Network is currently canceled. We'll see what happens with the WrestleMania. But right now, I am not watching Elimination Chamber. The fact that they're not having a WWE Universal Champion spot determined in Elimination Chamber is ridiculous. Absolutely horrendous. On top of everything else they did, giving Goldberg the title, all these things. that's a whole nother video. But what happened on Thursday and Friday in WWE is horrible. What's been happening in general hasn't been great. Mania, yes, I'm excited to see Fiend and Cena. I'm excited to see Goldberg and Reigns even. McIntyre and Brock. It's going to be fun. Edge and Randy to me is the best match right now. The best story, the best everything coming together. I think Becky and Shayna will be fine, and Charlotte and Rhea will be good. And I hope they do Bayley and Sasha, but it'll be a good card, but I don't know. I don't know what they could have done differently to just get Goldberg and Reigns together in a one-on-one. You don't need the title. Cena versus Fiend. Let's say, Fiend had a tough time with Goldberg. Battled him, tough match. Goldberg comes out and says, I couldn't do it, but, I'm here for Mania. Who wants me? And then they have the Elimination Chamber match. Cena enters himself. It comes down to Cena and Roman. Cena wins it. Cena goes on. And then Roman says, you know what? I'm not going to be champion right now. Maybe in the future I'll get to be a champion again. But right now, for the history of this sport, to know who's the better man between me and you, I want to fight Goldberg. Then you still get the two matches. In the championship match, you get The Fiend, who still hasn't lost, but has started to come down a little, against Cena, who's going for the 17th title. You still get the two matches, and that would have made more sense. But they go this way. They give Goldberg a cheap title run. They give Roman, who's going to win this title, and who knows who his main, match is. Maybe he fights The Fiend at SummerSlam. But I don't think Roman's going to lose this until next Mania or further. He's going to be the champion for a very long time, so it's what they want to do. It's fine. I have nothing against Roman, but I'm just saying, there's other options that they could have done that would have been better, and, let The Fiend keep the title a little bit longer, and then maybe at SummerSlam have him lose to Roman. Or do Roman and him now. Or do a Fatal 4-Way now, or do, a three-man match and have Cena fight somebody else. So many options they could have done. What are they doing with Daniel Bryan? What's happening in Elimination Chamber at this point? You got a women's Elimination Chamber and a tag team Elimination Chamber. Fiend's not on there. Roman's not on there. Cena's not on the card. Daniel Bryan's not on the card. What is going on? And Elimination Chamber is next week. I don't know. They are absolutely shitting the bed with the booking and with the setting things up. When you only have now, what? How many? 10? They're going to have 10 probably pay-per-views now that the Saudi Arabia part has taken 2 out. You only have 10 of these events. You build them up. You get the best people on it. When you have Elimination Chamber, you have a singles Elimination Chamber. When you have 2 championships in your company, you don't just have a 55-year-old man come out and say, who's next? And then Roman say, it's me, after Roman had a hard time with King Corbin for 6 months. And King Corbin is nowhere near a title match, so I don't know. I think Goldberg and Roman will be a good match, but it's just how they got there. When you really invest as much as many fans do, how you get to a title match, to a feud, to an end of something means a lot. And if April 5th is a phenomenal match, great. But Super Showdown sucked. Elimination Chamber will suck. SmackDown for the rest of all of March is going to be bad. And then you're going to have to pay $64.99. So, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. AEW is much better than SmackDown and right behind Raw right now. NXT is number 1. Raw, this much ahead of AEW. SmackDown, way down there. Thanks for watching.